Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our Paws On Animation channel and our Paws On Animation.
And today we're covering the Ayashimon manga.
Ayashimon?
Ayashimon, something like that. Or Ayashimon.
I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments. And now you may have never heard of this manga, and we had neither. We found this series at our local library and gave it a chance. And the biggest surprise to us was that it only had 3 volumes in its run.
But before we start with that, be sure to like, subscribe, and click occasionally some future podcasts and one of Paws videos.
Yes, thank you for joining us, subscribing, sharing our videos, and commenting. We appreciate you so much.
Yes.
Now, this is a manga series written and illustrated by Yuji Hakaku.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love to say Yuji. And it was serialized in Shonen Jump from 2021 to 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It's supernatural Yakuza.
Really? Okay.
And those are 2 genres it covers. And the original run is from November 15th of 2021 to May 30th of 2022. And guess why?
Because we mentioned it has only 3 volumes in the run of the manga. Well, that's because this series is actually canceled mid-story in Shonen Jump. Meaning when you read the final volume, it just ends abruptly.
Which is pretty unfortunate because we actually enjoyed reading it. Now, I have seen online where some people compare the main character, Mauro Kato. Mm-hmm. He's compared to Yuji. He's also compared to Denji. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure I agree. I agree on his strength, but I think the story is different. So for those of you not familiar with it, Kaido's an unusually strong boy and an avid manga fan who dreams to be a manga hero.
Yes.
And repeating the special training that appears in manga, like One Punch Man,
right,
that he's read since early age, he became able to break rocks at the age of 7.
Oh my gosh.
And then he meets an Oni Ayashimon. Her name is Urara. And she's a kind of yokai, able to shape him into humans. And she's being chased by the Ayashimon Yakuza gang.
Yes.
So he pledges to her after she's impressed by his strength, even though he's a simple human, and he accepts her offer for her recruitment, and then the challenges begin.
Right.
But the story to me definitely isn't like either JJK or Chainsaw Man or even One Punch Man.
Right.
I think it stood well on its own, and maybe the reason part of the cancellation could have been low ratings, I'm not sure.
It could have been.
Or low sales. But when people start comparing before they even know what's going on, that's a big detriment.
Right. And we're not really sure what was the main reason. It just all of a sudden was announced apparently that it was canceled. And there are quite a few people that did read it. Some read it because it's also the same author of Hell's Paradise, another manga that became incredibly popular.
And an anime that's currently streaming on Netflix as well.
Right. And for some people, there were a few that were kind of disappointed with the manga as a whole or just didn't care for the story. Well, there were some that actually really did enjoy it and wanted to see more because they loved the authors of the story so much and were kind of surprised to hear it ended. And then there were ones that never even knew it existed because the run was so short, it was barely enough content for people to take notice, and it clearly did not get advertised well enough because we did not find out until long after the series was finished.
Chapter titles are really funny.
Yes.
I'm going to read them to you because I don't want to try to remember them and get them wrong.
Okay.
Because some of these titles are hilarious. Chapter 1, I'll play with you, punk. Chapter 2, this monster battle stuff is intense. Chapter 3, I only ever take the juiciest bits. Chapter 4, I'm so scared I can't help but run.
Oh my god.
That's volume 1. Volume 2, don't tell me it's in bad taste. Over my dead body, he did not. Aren't we family? Big wings.
Oh my gosh.
Volume 3, welcome. Who are you? Until your chestnuts are out of the fire. Bye-bye. Doesn't begin to describe it and sack. These chapter titles are fun. There's more. I'm sorry, I skipped some. A rare breed of human. Do not say his name. You'll make a pretty price. I refuse to lose a game. What about you? Always having a blast. Only share the same fate, extinguisher, I can't do it alone, the Urara gang.
Okay.
Some of these titles are hilarious. And believe it or not, they aptly describe what's going on in the chapter itself.
Right.
I personally enjoyed it. It was a little strange at first when I started reading it.
Right.
But then once you got into the vibe of what was going on and you got to learn the characters more, not only the two main characters, but the secondary characters and what the book's about,
right,
and whom she has helping her, and them finding people to help her to win,
right,
against her father, whom she's never met.
Right.
But you find out he's the head of the Yakuza.
Right.
And he's still in the Ayashimon as well.
Right.
But it was a fun read, and I'm really disappointed that they decided to cancel it. If you guys know why, let us know in the comments.
Right. And because we really have no idea why this happened. And like we said, one issue I do believe is that no one really ever heard of this manga, did not pick up a bunch of traction. And we don't know if that's the result of the lack of advertising on Shonen Jump's part, or just people were not interested in it and didn't know what it was. And like you said, it had an interesting setup. It was doing something a little different, a little spin on the usual take of these type of stories. The supernatural Yakuza battle manga is not things that you put together, but hey, they made something different. And the way they kind of describe this world is that, okay, well, he's just a normal, regular human. Even with the strength, he's just kind of regular. So he has to train even more, because already the crazy inhuman strength was just average to the yokai because they're already supernatural. So you find something to build upon, and then you end up finding out why he wants to become one of the strongest that he's reading. And yes, of course, they have to have a really sad backstory.
Now, two things, I'm glad you brought that up, because there are two things that are important to go with that. One, yes, he does like Denji and Yuji, and no matter what happens, he gets back up and continues to fight. He won't quit, and they tell him to stay down, and he doesn't. But the second thing is, and what's really weird, is suddenly the manga writer himself comes into the story.
Yeah.
Instead of you reading a manga, it becomes about you seeing the manga writer trying to get this story finished for publication. And I think right there may be one of the reasons, because it kind of goes off the rails, takes you out of the story of what's going on.
Right.
And it's not done in a way like Psyche K did that was really clever. It's like, why are you taking me out of the story? I'm enjoying what I'm reading. Why are you telling me the story is being written by a manga writer who looks just like him, and he's the manga writer?
Yes.
And they're trying to get it to publication, and he wants to do some changes that they don't want. I think that might have been one reason.
Yes, and there's no point saying spoilers because the story's canceled. Yes, that was sort of the plot twist of the manga in the final volume. You're following this character who you think is reading other manga, like, okay, they read other manga and they exist in this universe as still fictional. But then now find out this is a real person who put himself as the hero of a story. Kind of takes you out of rooting for him because he's going to write the story just how he wants. And you already know how it goes because they have a conversation within the writing room that, oh, they expect him to take out the character. We know it looks like you, but these kinds of characters don't last long in stories like this, so why don't we just go ahead and take him out next chapter? And then he kind of thought, like, no, I want to keep this going. What if he wins? What if we can go on that? And he changes the story because it looks like the character's going to die. And he decides he doesn't want to get rid of him. Yeah, of course not. It's himself. It's himself. Of course he doesn't want himself to be gone unless he's got depression or something. And the character ends up winning because the author has a change of heart and helps him win. And it's so very confusing, as you said, because it's himself. It's not like, okay, this character is so engaging and you're rooting for him. He's such an underdog that the author himself is struggling to write an ending where it ends badly because everyone in and out of the manga is rooting for him. That would have been something different, but it
Right.
doesn't work when the author is the main character, fictional and real. So
Yeah.
now you're just kind of like, the stakes are gone immediately.
Well, I do like the artwork for the covers, as well as some colored pages that I've seen online that you should be seeing during this podcast. I do like the artwork. To me, it's different.
True.
It's kind of reminiscent of Zom 100's artwork.
Right.
But I think it stands well on its own.
Yeah.
In the manga pages, a whole lot of detail in the outfits and the background and things.
That's
Works.
true. That's true.
So quickly, I want to read this from Screen Rant. You should see it on screen now.
Right.
And it said, to say that this ending caught fans by surprise would be an understatement. According to stats from Weekly Shonen Jump, over the course of its run, Ayashimon has enjoyed consistent popularity, especially impressive in the ultra-competitive manga market. In addition, there's nothing in the manga story itself foretelling its end was near. Indeed, the story was developing into a major arc that seemed as if it was building to new events, and even more interesting is the fact that currently, outside of the tweet from the creator, there has been no explanation as to why the manga ended.
Right. So right now nobody knows. It's just gone.
Do we think you should read the 3 volumes? Absolutely. Yes, it's going to be disappointing you can't finish it, but we can tell you it's an entertaining 3-volume read. And if you haven't seen Hell's Paradise, it is on Netflix. We began watching it. I think we've watched 4 episodes so far. We'll get back to it. But you can see the similarities now that you know
Right.
in how the anime is and how this manga is written.
Right.
So we recommend go to your local library, get a Ayashimon, read it, come back, tell us what you think in the comments. And if you have already read it and you were one of those disappointed that the manga ended, was canceled, let us know your thoughts in the comments. We really want to hear what you have to say.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, and we'll give you for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining, subscribing, sharing our videos, and commenting. We appreciate you so much. And as always,
You are a special. Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
Manga Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.